lovely mini makers. Welcome to Made by Mini Makes, a virtual art and craft club for kids and big kids too. Each week we have new themes. What theme do we think it's going to be this week? It's May 2020 and it's Star Wars week, week 5, Made by Mini Makes. This week was all about Star Wars, that famous, super cool George Lucas set of films. However, as cool as they are, they've also got quite a cool message to them too. That together, when things get difficult, we can stand together, strong, and support each other so that we can become better, happier, more caring human race without the need for any Jedi mind tricks. Earlier this week, we had great fun practicing our drawing skills. We drew a BB-8 droid with felt tip pens, beep beep beep, bloop bloop bloop, and a Lego Stormtrooper. Check out our easy how-to drawing skills guide to make those on our blog. Today we're going to create our own DIY lightsaber, a bit like this one here, but we're going to make it ourselves. See? As you can see, I already had a blue one, so I decided to make a red one for my battle partner. I think I'm going to choose to battle Darth Vader here. Now you might think that all these crafts, this lightsaber, our drawings from earlier are just a little bit too tricky. I know I have lots of children come to me and say, but I can't draw, or I can't make something like that. Well, guess what? Yes, you can, with the right steps. In all my videos and all my blogs, I give you easy step-by-step instructions on how to make these things. So, in Yoda's famous words, do or do not, there is no try. So let's try today. Let's get crafty. To make the handle of your lightsaber, you need a wrapping paper tube. Don't worry if you don't have one of these, you could just simply use 2 kitchen roll tubes and tape them together. Taking some newspaper, ideally sort of scrunched up a bit to make it a bit thicker, you're going to wrap it around your tube. You want it towards one of the ends of the tube, not in the middle and not right at the end, but imagine it like part of your handle. Don't worry though if you don't get it quite in the right position, as you can always slide it along afterwards. Put some sticky tape, whatever you've got, ideally masking tape because you can paint over it, but if you haven't, sticky tape will do. You can see here I'm showing you approximately where you want to put your newspaper.
Now repeat the same thing right at the end of the tube. See if you put your hand in between them, it should feel like that bit's made for a handle. Next, taking some flat strips of newspaper, so not crumpled up this time, you're going to wrap it around your crumpled bit of newspaper and stick it in place with your sticky tape. Keep going all the way across until you cover all of your crumpled newspaper and your handle part of your lightsaber. Test it out with your hand that it feels comfortable. Then if you want to, add some more sticky tape just to hold the newspaper in place nice and tightly. But we haven't quite finished yet. Going to the other end of your lightsaber, stuff some newspaper into the end. You might have to scrunch it up quite tightly to get it in there. But leave a bit poking up at the top so you get a kind of rounded edge to it. Then, with your sticky tape, you're going to tape it down so that it doesn't fall out. And there we go. The main structure of your lightsaber is complete, ready for the next stage. Now to paint your lightsaber handle. I took some black paint, but you could use any colour you like. You may want to cover your work area for this bit because it gets a bit messy and you don't want to get paint on the table. With your paintbrush, start painting the handle. Do all of the handle, including the end. But stop before you get to the lightsaber blade. Now simply leave it to dry. Now to paint the lightsaber blade. Remember to cover your tabletop again. Now I chose to do it in a kind of pinky red colour. I actually had an iridescent paint, which means it's like shimmery and hopefully look like it's glowing. Now you could use something like a very fine glitter or even some old makeup that you could put in there to get that shimmery effect. Anything you like. Again, you can choose any colour you like. I chose red because I was doing Darth Vader's lightsaber, but you could do a Jedi one, so you could do it green or blue or purple, whatever you like. Paint the whole of the tube bit, so our blade. Don't worry too much about being super neat where the blade meets the handle because we're going to cover this bit up. Again, once you're happy, leave it to dry. We're now going to add some shiny metal detail to our handle. Some of this also will help cover up that little bit between the blade and the handle that we painted. Taking your larger bit, your 20 centimetres by 4 centimetres sheet of tin foil, you're going to pop some glue all along the bit that's less shiny. Now, carefully wrap it around the end of your handle. Don't worry too much if you get glue onto the handle, as it will dry transparent, see-through. Now, taking your thinner piece of tin foil, again on the less shiny side, we're going to add some glue. Now carefully place one end of the tinfoil across where the blade meets the handle, that join that was a bit messy, and we can cover it up. Make sure they're stuck nicely in place. And there we have it. It's starting to look a little bit more like a lightsaber handle. Now, to make it look even more like a handle, we're going to create the rubber grip. Now we're going to make it look a little bit like it's worn out, like it's been well used, as a lightsaber would be. Using a plastic fork, I practiced dipping my paint and dragging it along a sheet of scrap paper. I recommend doing this first before going straight onto your lightsaber handle. And you can see, as you press along, you get a worn effect. So it's not perfect, that's what we're looking for. Once you're happy you've practiced enough, you can go straight onto your lightsaber handle. So dipping your fork into your paint, drag it along your lightsaber handle. You want to rotate the lightsaber in your hand as you do it, as it will make it a lot easier, or get an adult to help you do this part. Once you've got all the way around the width of your handle, you're then going to just repeat the same thing again, just to make it a little bit wider. Now you may want to just leave it to dry now, so you don't smudge it too much. Now we're going to add some of the gold detailing. I was lucky I had a gold marker pen. You might not have one of these, and that's okay. You could use yellow paint or even just white paint, whatever you have to hand. For this, I'm going to use my gold marker pen. First, just above where we created our worn handle effect, draw a rectangle with a rounded bottom. Next, we're going to simply draw a line all the way around the width of the handle, just above where you just drew that rounded rectangle. I then decided to make it a little bit thicker, so it looked a bit more like a gold band. If you've used paint for this, leave it to dry. Now we're just going to add those final details just to make it look like a really cool lightsaber. I used a black permanent marker. Again, if you don't have one of these, you could use black paint. On the thicker bit of silver, start drawing some lines. You want to draw them vertically, which means they go up and down, not side to side. Go all the way around the whole piece of tinfoil. Now you're going to draw some lines on the little rounded rectangle. This time they're going to go horizontally, from left to right, side to side. There we go. Now, on the gold band, using your pen, draw a line all the way around, but with little squares coming down from it, a little bit like a castle wall effect. Finally, on your thin piece of tinfoil, just draw a line all the way around it. Once you've finished, simply add any other bits that you like. Maybe some dots for lights. Anything you wish.